newbies. This is Psychic Bob. Well, welcome to Saturday night. It's time for our Saturday night seance. And, we've had a lot of new people join this last week. So I want to say welcome to the newbies. For many of you, this is going to be kind of a new experience. But for you old timers, you know what it's all about. Well, just to give some background, our Saturday night seance comes out of the spiritualist church tradition. I used to be a member of the spiritualist church, and it was very customary, every month or so, sometimes every week, depending on what was happening, somebody would host a seance. Somebody in the church who was a medium would say, come over, let's see what the spirit has. So I used to go to seances, and the mediums would go into trance, and they would channel through the spirits. It was always a wonderful time, always fascinating. And a lot of you have told me over the years you have never had the chance to actually go to a seance. Well, this is where this series comes out from. So every Saturday we gather here at my home. I welcome you. We're in my virtual dining room here. And I always say welcome. And if you were here literally, physically in my house, I'd just have you pull up chairs here and put a circle around where we're sitting here. So you can just pull your chair up to your monitor and know that virtually you are here with me, okay? So I welcome all of you to our seance tonight. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to go into trance. And when I go into trance, the spirits that come through, they overshadow my consciousness. And they take control of my nervous system, and they speak through me. It's nothing scary. It's nothing dangerous. Well, I suppose it could be scary and dangerous if I didn't know what I was doing. But you see, I have a good rapport with my guides, and so I allow them to use my body. And it's really a system of trust, and that's what it's about. So, but I invite you just to kind of experience it. Many people often tell me they can feel the energy in the room shift when an entity comes through. And I think that's always fascinating. So we're going to see what happens tonight, okay? So anyways, pull up your chairs. I'm going to go into trance. Oh, by the way, before we get into that, just to let you know, if you enjoy what you see tonight, you can see Psychic Bob next weekend. I'm appearing on the channel panel. And I'm going to do an appearance on, I believe it's on Sunday. But if you go to this following website, www.etwhisperer.com, I'll put the link in the info box below. You can purchase tickets there for the channel panel. And Rob Gauthier, who is a wonderful psychic medium, has set this wonderful event up. He and his wife, Kalina. And it's wonderful, wonderful time. So we're going to have 2 days next Saturday and Sunday, full days of channeling. Now, as I said, tickets are $55, but you're getting entry to full 2 days of channeling. So once you sign up, you'll get your pass, and you'll be able to, log on and join the panel. It's going to be live channeling. So, yeah, you'll get to see Psychic Bob live. Okay, and I'm going to be trance channeling as well as the other mediums. So I think it's going to be an amazing 2 days, And really, if you think about it, $55 is not a lot of money, particularly when you're realizing you're getting 12 channels every day. 2 days, it's like 24 channels we've got booked. Rob Gauthier, who organized it, he's a wonderful medium. He'll be channeling. Many of you may remember Brad Johnson. I was on his show just last week. He's going to be there as well and channeling, and myself, and a whole host of others. So go over to Rob's website, etwhisper.com. It's under events there, and you can read about the channel panel, okay? Yay. Well, there you go. Well, I'm going to settle down and go into trance here. So I'll see you when I get back. Oh, this is Fletcher here. Good evening to all of you. Well, I tell you, the energy tonight is so high and vibrant, and our medium's current is strong as well, so we're going to have a good night here. So glad to see all of you. Well, I've got some people here who want to be talking, so I'll be stepping from the body. My name is Fletcher. Whenever I have the chance to gather with you, I am most pleased. There are many here tonight who have begun your journeys, who have come to understand that the material reality can only take your consciousness so far. This is the beginning of progress to the eternal life. Many people believe that to have eternal life one must die. Death is only the transition from the earth realm to the spiritual realm. But you need not die to begin that journey. When you understand that within you exists the eternal spirit, then you are already on the path of progress. Many people believe that if they will wait until they die, they will figure out then what is to do with their lives, their eternal lives. But your eternal life begins the minute you enter this reality. Your human life, your earthly life, is a challenge. It is a time of growth. It is a time of trial and testing. You have come to the earth to learn many lessons. Some of you have been here many times, some of you less times. But know that each incarnation is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for enlightenment. Do not believe in the false enlightenment. There are those who would tell you that if you have enough money on the earth, you will have joy and power and you will have knowledge. Your material enlightenment is limited. True knowledge comes from within. It is the light of the spirit. It has no connection to material reality. If you seek that light, you will have power beyond anything that you can imagine. And when you leave the body, you will cross into our realm, the realm of light, the realm of power. The realm of light, the realm of power, is not a realm where people seek power over another. The power that we speak of is the power of your own choices, the power of your heart. It is the power to connect to the light. It is the power to connect to your true self. All of you were souls, as was myself, in the beginning. In the beginning, there was only God, the divine. From this divinity, all souls were created. Each of you are sparks of that divine light. Each of you are sparks of creativity. You share the very essence of God, and your light is eternal. You are only limited in your capacity to create, while in the body you are even more limited. The earthly realm is a realm of density. In the earthly realm, your senses are dulled. You cannot see the past. You cannot see the future. The earthly realm is focused on the moment, on the immediate. Many people make the mistake in the earthly realm of thinking too far ahead, or some become trapped in the past. I know that in my own life, I was trapped in the past. When I had times of struggle, instead of accepting them and moving forward, I would rehash them over and over again in my mind. This led to limited growth in my spirit. My earthly material life lagged behind, and I became more enmeshed and embroiled in material reality through the use of drugs, through the use of alcohol. These things weakened my body and thus clouded my mind. If the material mind, the physical brain, is clouded, the spiritual mind oftentimes has difficulty and taking control and moving one forward. It is true that you must honor the body while in the earth sphere, but it is not to be honored to excess. As the wise Buddha once said, take the middle ground. I used to hear this teaching, and yet I never absorbed it. As I said, many humans focus on the past to the detriment of their soul. It is important to understand about your past, but it is also important that you keep it in perspective. If you allow yourself to become obsessive on what has occurred, you will never make the progress to move forward. Some people become so enmeshed in speculation of the futures that they never live in the moment. They put off living now, believing that in they only wait there will be a better time for living. This also is a falsity, for you are not guaranteed tomorrow. Each human life has a span. Some people live to be 100, some will live to 30, some will live to another age. And so as you are not assured of your earthly time, you must make the present where your reality is. It does not hurt to plan for the future, but you should not let your plans again inhibit your growth, as would excessive focus on the past. In the earthly sphere, much will be given to you, but you must ask for it. If you are currently feeling that your life is in a tailspin, if everything is falling apart and you feel alone and empty, ask yourself, have I focused on the present? When you focus on the present, things come into a natural order. You will begin to see where you have made mistakes in the past, and you will also see where you may go in the future. So if you focus on the present moment, you will be given the power to move through the present moment to achieve the best outcome. There are many humans upon the earth today who have turned their internal frequencies off. And what I mean by this is that within every person's soul, their consciousness has a spark, a memory of the spirit world. For those humans who forget this, their light becomes dim. There is a false teaching upon the earth now that to be educated, to be intelligent, requires one to be an atheist, that one should not believe in the soul or a spiritual world. This is a false teaching, and it leads to much sorrow. It leads to limited growth. Do not believe those who would tell you that you are nothing but a mere animal. The animals themselves are wise, for they too know that they have souls. If you study, for example, the birds have a peace about themselves. They nest in the trees, they fly in the sky. They do not fear for tomorrow. They plan accordingly, yet they're very present in the moment. You never see a bird having an existential quandary. Is there a God? It is natural for a bird to know that he is connected, and thus he is free to live in the moment. Some of you may be tempted to say, well, if there is a God, why do I not know of this? Why am I confused? Make an understanding that your confusion comes from the veil. When a soul incarnates, there is a temporary veil that is put over. It is in order that you will forget temporarily the spirit world. If you were to remember all the glory of the spirit world, it would make life here unbearable, and you would not be able to find peace. Likewise, you would also remember your entire past lives, and this also would be a distraction, for you would remember those you have left behind in other lives, and you would be spending your time wondering where they were, having fear and sorrow of your past mistakes, and you would find yourself in great sorrow. This is why the veil of forgetfulness is put upon you, and you enter into this world with a sense of forgetfulness, and thus you do not always remember in fullness the divinity. Know that inside of you, it is that spark. This is why meditation is so important. If you practice meditation, you will have an awareness of that spark. That awareness of that spark will give you the power to move forward with your life. Just a moment. Somebody else wishes to speak. Oh, this is Fletcher here. Give us just a moment while we adjust the vibration of the medium. There we go. Well, I'll let Orion finish speaking. Oh, excuse me, not Orion. We're going to let Alfred finish speaking. As we were saying, that spark within you is your eternal light. And as you meditate, it will become revealed again to you. Faith is not an issue of blind trust. Faith is actually an awareness, a subtle knowing, a knowing that you come from another realm. And when you have this faith within, you will have joy. You know that though you challenge yourself with earthly trials, there is a purpose to all of it. And in the end, you will return home, where all things will come together in their fullness, and you will again understand your true self. The human being has struggled many times because there is the temporary self, the earthly, fleshly self. But this is a mask to the true higher self. Sometimes they are very different, for the higher self sees and knows all things. The earthly self often has clouded and limited vision. So if one can focus on the higher self, one will again see clearly. They need not be split in the sense of being, as we say, manic or, split personality. Though I suppose from an earthly perspective it could seem that way. Understand that the selves work in harmony. It is not a conflict. If you are to understand your true nature, your true spiritual self, again you must go within. Sometimes travel will bring out this connection, for there are people who will travel to a place that is connected to their former lives, and when they see the place that they have lived before, their memory is sparked. This is a powerful way also to connect with your higher self. Look at your life. Ask yourself, where am I drawn to go? Have I been there before? You may, for example, have a desire to travel to China, and you have no reason why you would do this. You've never been there. You have no family nor friends there. Yet every day you're desiring to go to China. This may well be the longing of the soul, a memory of what was before, and when you travel there, you will have an awakening. Look at what your desires are. If the desires are good and helpful, exploring them may also put you in touch with your spirit. Do not relegate all things of joy to being of, as many say in the other, of the devil. There is a false teaching that if you enjoy your life, that you're not being spiritual. You were created in the light and joy of the kingdom of the Spirit, and it is that light and joy within you. In our world, the world of light, there is joy unheard of upon the earth. And if you allow a little glimpse of that joy into your life, in your earthly experience, you will have great joy and happiness. Please understand that this life is not meant to be lived in sorrow and dread of happiness. This also is a false teaching. As we said, within is the light, and if you look within, all things are available. The answer to your questions lies within. There is somebody else wishing to speak, and I will be stepping from the body now. My name is Alfred. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Such a blessing to be here with all of you. I'm most pleased with Alfred. His progress is amazing. You know, he's really come into the light in its fullness. If you could but see his spirit body, you would be amazed at the luminosity that it contains. I remember when Alfred first crossed here to the spirit world. His soul was dim. It was like a grey light. But day by day, as he healed his soul, as he let go of his addictions and his fears, his grey light turned to a soft rose and then a gentle yellow, and now he glows with an unearthly whiteness. He is truly a channel now of the spirit. Each of you can grow in that light as well. And what Alfred has said is so very, very true. Please understand that you do not have to die to achieve that glow. We call it here soul glow. I hope that each of you will find within that light. Alfred's so very right when he says that if one looks within. You know, my neighbour Madge used to always say, Rose, we hold you in the light. I used to always say, well, what do you mean, hold me in the light? I don't see you putting lights up to my window at night, disturbing me. She said, no, my dear. That means that we offer the best. We ask that the divine light shine upon you and illuminate you. I said, well, I suppose it's all right, as long as it doesn't inhibit my sleep at night, you see. Oh, you see how dense I was in those days, how daft, you know. I thought to myself that being held in the light would somehow create a disturbance in my life. Well, I tell you, when I crossed over into the realm of the dead, what I wouldn't have given for that light. They let me stay in the darkness for a while, in order that I would appreciate the light. You see, some of you tonight feel that you're already in the darkness. You're having the dark night of the soul. Know that the dark night of the soul will pass. And if you're someone and you say, I'm calling to God and yet I feel alone, know that we of the spirit world will walk through that dark night of the soul with you. That which you accomplish on the earth, in terms of your spiritual progress, will put you that much farther ahead over here. Remember that everything is about growth, growing in the light, growing towards the light. In your earthly bodies, many of you forget who you truly are. This is the great challenge of the earthly life, to remember who you really are. And as Alfred has so rightly said tonight, your children, your sparks, your elements of the Most High God. The light of the divine is beyond explanation. Even those of us who directly see it cannot fathom its majestic reality. I invite each of you to begin that journey to that light now. Look within, find that light. If you are in the dark night of the soul, call upon me, call upon Alfred, call upon Fletcher. We'll gladly come to you, and we'll help connect you to your own spirit guides, your own angels. No one need walk the earthly life ever alone. You may say, Rose, I've lost all my family and friends. I'm truly alone. My dear, you made a contract with God that if you were ever truly alone on the earth, the angels would be your family and friends. And so let them come to you. Do not dismiss it as rubbish or figments of your mind. It is a reality that is more real than your material plane. And as Alfred said, and I must repeat it, look within. you will find that spark, and you can begin to live again. So it was a blessing to come here with you. Fletcher's saying that the medium's power is starting to wane, and so we will be stepping from the body. I thank you for being with us this evening and allowing us the privilege to come here. I look for your messages to me, and I will send you a message from our world as well. And as the power fades, I let you know that I send you my love always. Many blessings. Hey, Tubies, this is Psychic Bob. Well, I tell you, when I come back from channeling, I feel so good. It uplifts me. It brings me a lot of joy. And just the fact that you guys gather here also brings me a lot of joy. If you enjoyed what we did tonight, you might want to pop over to my website at robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link in the info box below. You can pick up a copy of my book, Messages from Rose. That's a picture of Rose. This talks about my early days of channeling and working with her. And it's a really, I think it's an exciting book. A lot of people have read and said how much they've enjoyed it. So I hope that you'll pop over and pick up a copy. Pick up a copy. Pick up one for a friend. Also, we're getting ready for Halloween/Samhain. We have another book called Ouija Mysteries. This is also one of my books, and you can get that at my website. So I have a number of books. These are just a few, but the ones I have on hand here to show you. But anyways, yeah, definitely pop over, pick up a book for a friend, Anyways, well, listen, thank you for being here. You guys rock. I think you're wonderful. And I hope that you'll, help support my channel. If you enjoy my work, like this, favorite, share it with your friends. Let's get out the word about Spirit Channel. And hit subscribe. We'd love you to continue to be part of our channel. Well, you guys rock. Listen, keep it here. Tomorrow on Sunday, we're going to have another video. We're going to talk about Vesta worship tomorrow, how to honor the goddess Vesta. And I think you'll really enjoy it. So definitely be back here. All right, guys, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Blessed be.